Offender in custody. Anyone else close, wait to see result, let me know.
Now we're going to go to our Yvonne Cooper, who's joining us with defense attorney Art Horn to speak further. Yvonne.
Hey, Kevin, thank you so much. We have attorney Art Horn with us this afternoon to really talk about this case and what happens next when it comes to the legality of what could happen to Austin Drummond. Okay, attorney Horn, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me here.
Tell us what happens within the first 48 to 72 hours after someone is arrested.
So once he's picked up, he'll be taken into custody. They will take him, book him, process him. And then from there, he'll probably be, his bond will be reviewed by a magistrate, and either the magistrate judge will decide to set a bond or to refer it to the judge whose case he'll be in front of.
So it is possible that he could get bond or not.
He could get a bond, but I think it'll be high if he does. And when I say high, I'm talking in the millions of dollars. If they decide to set a bond, the factors that they usually consider are whether he's a flight risk, whether he has ties to the community, and whether he's a danger to the community. And I think being that he is fled or allegedly fled, and that he has proven in the past to be a danger to the community, I think it's more likely than not that he won't get a bond, or if he does, it's going to be something in upwards of $5 to $10 million.
I see. And he does have a prior arrest record. Do you think that will play a part in that decision of whether or not to give him bond?
Oh, absolutely. I think that goes into whether he's a flight risk. I think that goes into whether he's a danger to the community, and with his prior arrest history, I think he definitely will be viewed as a danger to the community.
So when will his first court appearance be, and what could we expect to happen there?
I'm thinking that they will have his first court appearance within 48 hours, and he will be arraigned on the charges. Basically, they'll tell him what he's charged with. He'll enter a not guilty. He'll enter a plea of not guilty, and if he can't afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to him. If he's declared to be indigent, which I believe he probably will, the court will appoint him a lawyer.
Can you explain the difference to us about first-degree murder and other murder charges? Why is murder one different from the rest?
So in Tennessee, you have under the statute, first-degree murder carries anywhere from life with parole to life without parole. And what you have to have is you have to have the elements of a murder has to occur. It has to be planned or premeditated, and a murder occurs. Under the statute, second degree murder, which carries 15 to 25 years, has to be deliberate, and it has to be deliberate, and a murder occurs. Under the voluntary manslaughter statute, which only carries 3 to 6 years, it has to be, you have to have adequate provocation, or meaning that you were provoked, and then a murder occurs. Then you have reckless homicide, which is the act is reckless and a murder occurs. And then criminally negligent homicide, which is the lowest, it's an E felony. And that means that it's basically a negligent homicide, that it happened negligently, but it still rises to the level of being criminal.
I see. Another big charge, aggravated kidnapping. What do you think that suggests about what allegedly happened in this case?
Well, I think if he held them against their will for any period of time and he did it with a weapon, I think that's what it suggests. And I think that's why they're charging him with aggravated kidnapping.
And then there are also several gun charges. How significant are those charges when it comes to the murder charges?
Well, I think they're very significant. One, because earlier I think we talked about whether he could be charged federally. because he's a convicted felon, if he's found to be in possession of those handguns, the federal government could also charge him in separate cases. But also, I think it goes to the proof and the evidence in this case, and it would go to enhance his sentence if he's found guilty or pleads to first-degree murder.
I see. So he has a slew of charges that he's already facing. Is it possible that prosecutors could seek more charges against him?
I think if they go into their investigation, deeper into their investigation, and they find that he's committed more crimes, they could always add on more crimes or more charges.
That's always a possibility, especially since the crimes ranged in different counties and cities at this time.
That's correct. I think you'll see the state charges that he'll be facing, but you'll also potentially see federal charges, especially involving the guns, with his prior history being a convicted felon and with the magnitude of a case like this and what he did.
Do you think the death penalty could be on the table, that prosecutors could seek it?
Absolutely. I think the death penalty is probably going to be looked at, and it wouldn't surprise me if the death penalty, this became a death penalty case.
So what could be the maximum penalty that Drummond could face if he's convicted on the counts that we're aware of at this time?
Let's just say he'll go away for multiple life sentences, probably.
And so what are typical defensive strategies in a case like this?
Well, I think the first thing they're going to look at is his mental state. Was there something going on that caused him to click? Was
come
there
on.
a mental defect?
Come on.
His mental faculties in place. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest area that his defense counsel will hone on to see if there's possibly something going on that caused this, that could.
What are you setting up a case for? Can you plead insanity in Tennessee? Can you plead insanity in Tennessee? That's a bunch of crap, man. If this dude gets to freaking go to a mental facility for the rest of his life and he still gets to eat his toast and Pop-Tarts, that's messed up, man.
Could make sense to
that's messed up.
A court or a jury, because I think it comes into play for two reasons. One, if they charge him with the death penalty and they're seeking the death penalty, that information could be used to mitigate or to get him.
We're going to have another trial coming up, you guys. We're going to have another trial coming up. We will cover the trial. We're going to have a trial. Watch. I bet in about a month we're going to have a trial.
Just a life sentence.
1 month.
It also would help in negotiating the case if they charge him with the death penalty to maybe.
Oh, Rachel,
and allowing him to go to prison for life. It could also potentially be a defense if he's declared to have been insane at the time that these crimes were committed.
Oh my gosh,
the
no
defense
way.
Could prove that. So I think those are all important factors to consider in the defense of Mr. Drummond.
You know he's gonna.
So there's still a lot of moving pieces in this case. I mean, you have 4 victims who are dead, but you also have an abandoned baby. What role could the baby play in this case? Could that be seen as a mitigating factor in any way?
Thank you, Rachel. Will that make it a little harder for him to? My guess is defense will bring up all his teenage years spent in prison and a victim of the system. Interesting, but the defense, not my opinion, but the defense may push it. Interesting. He knows right from wrong. But a career criminal prior, so it'll be really hard for him to get that. I can't believe that if that's true. Because I could see him. Jail time, bail time. Yeah, that's true. Man. You know he's gonna. You know he's gonna. You know he's gonna.
I don't think it's going to be a mitigating factor. I mean, I think, well, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I potentially, if I'm defending him, I may use that as a mitigating factor. I may use that to show that, I mean, he does have a heart but at the same time, it's tough when, 4 other people were killed.
Is he trying to be like, is he trying to be the lawyer for this guy? Is he trying to be the lawyer for this guy? Oh, well, I can see that he does have a heart. Oh, my Lord. He's trying to be the lawyer for this guy, isn't he? Rich mommy and daddy, come give me some money, right?
Unless, he defended himself, or he may say, this was in self-defense. They were attacking me. I felt my life was threatened. I felt my life was in danger. I felt like they were trying to kill me.
Oh, man.
So I think a lot of these unknowns we won't know until we hear from his defense counsel and we hear from
we're going to
Mr.
trial.
Drummond's. And the thing about these cases, we may never hear from Mr. Drummond's. One of the things that you asked me earlier was about during his arrest, what would happen. They may bring him in to question him, and if he is willing to cooperate,
he ain't gonna
and be questioned by police, he may tell a story.
I doubt it.
He may tell what happened.
I doubt it.
So again, a lot of this is unknown until things sort of play out over the next week.
Yeah, because in court, he could decide to testify or not.
Well, I think it would come down to whether this went to trial.
Oh, it's going. Trial, it's going to trial.
He doesn't have to under the Constitution.
You know what? You know he's going to trial. He's going to plead not guilty to something. He probably not guilty for insanity. I got to at least try it. It's going. A month, you guys. I'm guessing a month, and we're going to be in trial for this guy, and we will be covering it. Trust me. We just got done covering BK. We were thinking we were going to be covering a Koberger trial for the next 4 months. That ended, and we got time for another trial, and this is one that I definitely want to follow because this is some BS, man.
This is right not to testify.
This is some BS.
But he may want to tell his story. If it's a self-defense case, he may have to testify if he's claiming self-defense. If he's claiming that for some reason he was insane at the time, or this is an insanity defense, he probably wouldn't have to testify.
I mean, think about it. They both took out 4 people. Man.
So there are a lot of strategies that the defense could use if this goes to trial.
Yeah, that's correct.
Right.
So how long does a case of this magnitude typically take to go to trial?
Had a whole bunch of shit.
It just varies.
He had 2 droids and 3 power strip sockets. That's what he had. Fire hazard, man.
From jurisdiction to
3 power strips hooked up to one another.
Shelby County, typically a case like this,
that's a fire hazard.
2 to 3 years to get to trial.
What?
I'm not sure.
What did he just said? 2 to 3 years to get to trial? What?
Yeah, because in court, he could decide to testify or not.
Well, I think it would come down to whether this went to trial. If he went to trial, he could choose to testify. He doesn't have to under the Constitution. This is right not to testify. But he may want to tell his story. If it's a self-defense case, he may have to testify if he's claiming self-defense. If he's claiming that for some reason he was insane at the time, or this is an insanity defense, he probably wouldn't have to testify.
I see. So there are a lot of strategies that the defense could use if this goes to trial.
Yeah, that's correct.
Wow.
So, how long does a case of this magnitude typically take to go to trial?
It just varies from jurisdiction to jurisdiction. In Shelby County, typically a case like this probably would take 2 to 3 years to get to trial. I'm not sure. This is cases in Dyer County, correct?
Yes, Dyer
And
County,
so
Lake County.
Dyer County and
Wow.
Lake County, they'll probably push to have this case tried within a year, 2 at the latest.
That long? That's
So, what will
wild.
be the key steps
That's
between now and
wild.
a
That
potential
long?
trial? Those milestone moments.
I think from
I
the
thought
defense
BK was just an
standpoint,
anomaly.
it's to get an investigator involved to build mitigation factors that would help.
I mean, I don't understand how this dude's thinking like 2 years maximum when it took 2 years for BK, a year and a half. Like, and that look at all the supplemental discovery requests from the defense. There was 20 frickin' 4 of them. That's why it got drug out, because the supplemental discovery requests weren't being fulfilled. So to sit there and say that it would drag out that long when I don't think they're going to have that many discovery requests, I think it'll be probably like 2, 2 of them, not 24. That's crazy. I hope not. That's a long ass time. I don't know. It just seems excessive. 2 years. Seems like that's just way. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Mr. Drummond's. Figure out what his mental capacity was at the time of these killings. Figure out if there's a defense for self-defense or insanity, and sort of build your case from there. Was he provoked? Voluntary manslaughter is a lesser included offense of first degree.
That's a good point.
It doesn't carry like.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Rachel. Flip on the corruption from the facility that he was in. Oh, yeah. Gosh, I didn't even think about that. It's crazy, man. It's almost like he's like, seems like he's trying to like rally to become the lawyer or something. I don't know. It's weird.
A life sentence. So
it's weird.
If he was attacked, if one of these individuals, threatened him or attacked him, or
he wants to be the lawyer, don't he?
Cheating with his ex-girlfriend and that, or he caught them having sex. Those are things that could be viewed as provocation or him being provoked. So
it's like he's giving him all the ideas, right? Am I wrong, you guys? Does it sound like this lawyer, right in the beginning, this guy's got a heart? It sounds to me like the dude is trying to use the television to promote his services. Listen to this. He's like coming up with all these things. I mean, well, if his girlfriend cheated on him and wow, dude. It's like a Ann Taylor for BK, but Ann Taylor wasn't lobbying for BK's. It's like, damn, man. Whoa.
Did he walk in on a situation?
Oh, right.
That may be something that's not premeditated. It could be considered deliberate. Because again, premeditation requires planning.
It's crazy.
It requires premeditation.
It's like he's giving him ideas.
When somebody plans to do it, the prosecution would have to show that this was a planned event. Maybe he went to his friend's house. He got a gun.
You know what he's doing? Listen to this.
Somebody purchased a gun. Maybe he went and got a ski mask. Maybe he went and got gloves. And then he went to the home, kidnapped these people, rode around with them, and then killed them or executed them. So, again, I think from the state's perspective, the state of Tennessee, they've got to build a solid case to prove that there was premeditation and planning.
It sounds like he's talking to the mom and dad. It sounds like he's talking to the mom and dad. Like, there's got to be this and there's got to be that. And it could have been this. And it, oh my Lord, it's like he's talking to mom right next to him. Like, look, ma'am, they have to prove this, ma'am. Oh my Lord.
For this to be a first-degree murder and or a death case. From the defense standpoint, I think they have to start working just as quickly and diligently as the state of Tennessee would to show that either this was some type of insanity defense case, or that this was some type of self-defense, or that he was provoked in some type of way.
Wow.
So I think both sides are going to start working quickly to get to a point where they can figure out, okay, what's our defense going to be? What's our strategy going to be? And I think that's what you're going to see in a case like this, especially with the magnitude. It's got national coverage. It's very high profile. So all the T's are going to be crossed and all the I's are going to be dotted, and people are going to do a thorough and diligent job.
Mm-hmm. You know, on these big cases like this,
Wow.
we hear all the time that investigators are looking for a motive, searching for a motive. They're looking for the why. That will be critical in this case.
I agree. I agree with you totally. And again, the motive could be provocation. It could be what provoked him to do this.
Wow.
And those things are.
He could be like,
important
my
for
girlfriend
jurors-
cheated on me.
jurors to hear, whether you're on the side of the
Wow.
state, where you want to prove a motive that he had a motive to go over, plan a killing,
Wow.
and follow through with it. And if you're defending the case, if it was
This guy.
there was a lack of motive,
This
and
guy.
this happened sort of deliberately or quickly, or he was provoked into a situation.
He was
I
provoked.
mean, those
Oh
are the
my
things
God.
that both sides will be trying to push to figure out.
You don't think he's going to say that he was provoked? Oh my gosh. This is going to be. How much? Let's see. You know what? Damn, I should have started a poll a little bit ago. I should have asked y'all if you guys think that this guy's going to. Here, type in chat. Type one in chat if you think this guy's going to end up being Austin's lawyer, or type 2 in chat if you don't. I think he's going to end up being Austin's lawyer. I think his parents are going to come across this interview and they're going to listen to it and they're going to be like, you know what? We should probably call him, honey. We should probably call him. Y'all don't think so? I think he is. I think he's using this little TV spot for promotion. Cause I mean, listen, we've seen all these shows probably represents girlfriend. Oh, look at Rachel coming in with the backhand slap shot. Did a little whoop-de-whoop. Probably because he represents his girlfriend. I don't know. It just seems to me like he's using this as like a promotional. Like I see him saying that stuff to the mom. I don't, you know, all of these lawyers that we've seen on TV all of this time, I've never heard of a lawyer say, well, this guy's got a heart. Somebody that committed this crime, I've never heard any lawyer say, well, this guy's got a heart. It's just crazy. It's wild. It's wild.
Out very quickly.
It's wild.
Early on, because you need to know what it is you're really working with. And I think we can sit here now and we can sort of speculate, but as time goes on, it'll play out in the public and it'll play out for the defense in the state, and we'll know more about what this case is truly about.
Absolutely. Because right now we still have more questions than answers. And as the court case continues to develop and we learn more information, maybe some of those answers will come out before trial, if we go to a trial.
Is it because you think that they helped him out, Austin? And thank you for joining. Do you think it's because they helped him out? Because I really think like his parents helped him out. I really do. I think that's why they didn't even like have a press conference. Son, please turn yourself in. They sent a letter to the news channel. They didn't even call him. They didn't even have a phone interview. They sent a letter to the news channel. That's it. I'm telling you right now, if it was me, I would be, oh my gosh, I would hate to see my offspring pass away from a, like the dude's walking around with an AR and he just committed that crime. I thought it was going to end bad. I thought it was going to end in a standoff, and I thought it was going to end with him not being on this planet no more. I'm just being honest. And, obviously, it ended the way it did. He was on bond money, may not be an issue till they saw severity and saw the demon and how he now was afraid. Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Wait. Well, I don't know, Rachel. I thought you don't. Do you think that they because I've always seen family members come out and plead for their loved one to turn themselves in. Typically, that's what law enforcement will do, is they will use their own family members to plead over the public to hit an emotional touch to then make them reconsider what they're doing. They might be scared of him too. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like that's why he became so popular in prison, You had all the Pop-Tarts and the cookies and all that stuff in your. Let's see, not sure. Yeah, he was on the run before, and he fled to Daytona. They may have been advised by their attorney. I don't know why their attorney would, because typically law enforcement uses family members to hit that emotional nerve to get them to try and reconsider. Because it's like your mom crying, son, please, and then it hits that nerve and you're like, oh, shucks. Thinks they helped him at first. Yes, at first I can see. Oh, yeah. I heard his dad gave a statement last night. I didn't see that. I just saw the letter that he sent. to the news channel, the one that says like the Drummond family at the bottom. It was just a quick little letter, like, please turn yourself in, son. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy wild.
It definitely will come out then.
I will say this, and I think I said this earlier, the aspect of flight is something that can also be considered and used by the state of Tennessee. And so it doesn't help that he fled. It doesn't help that there were other people involved, because they're witnesses.
Yeah.
And whenever they're witnesses,
100%.
there are people that can testify against you for immunity. And so I'd be willing to guess that if I were representing two of the accused that were accused as accessories to this crime after the fact, that their lawyers would be rushing to help them cooperate and convict Mr. Drummond. So one, you've got the issue of flight that hurts his case. Two, you've got his past criminal history that hurts his case. Three, you have the fact that 4 people were killed potentially in front of a baby. So just the impact of that and the way that looks to the public, it doesn't start off good for Mr. Drummond's or his defense team.
Yeah, this is a very complicated, but also in many ways gruesome case. Can you talk to us about whether or not this case could be resolved with a plea agreement? Do you think the state could offer that to Mr. Drummond?
Absolutely. I think in cases like this, what I've had in the past is, especially when the death penalty was being sought, is to try to keep him alive. And so I think this may be a case where you see, if they do seek the death penalty, his defense team, depending on what the facts look like, may come to the state and say, look, we'll sign plea paperwork to allow him to stay in prison until he dies versus being, put to death.
And so we've mentioned and talked before about how this case and certain scenes spans Dyer County, Lake County, and even the city of Jackson. How will prosecutors decide which jurisdiction tries him first?
I think where the first murder occurred, wherever that happened, that will probably be the first county that would try him, or they may decide to consolidate the cases and try them in one county. But out of all the counties that he's alleged to have committed these crimes in, they're pretty conservative and they have pretty conservative juries. So my gut tells me that this case will probably be worked out if it plays out the way we think it does. That if it plays out the way we think it will.
Attorney Horn, anything that I haven't asked you that you wanted to make sure that you said and made sure that we have a good understanding of the legality of this case?
I think the one question would be asked is, would he be held in protective custody because of the magnitude of the case, because of the gruesome facts in this case? And I think that may be a factor. I think they may hold him in protective custody because I think in jail and in prison, there may be some people that want him gone. There may be some people that have connections to some of the not alleged, but some of the people that have been killed. So I think that's another thing that you're going to see, like you do in a lot of high profile cases. He'll probably be held in protective custody to see that he gets his fair day in court.
Okay. Attorney Horn, this has been extremely informative and insightful. So thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you too.
All right. Kevin, we're going to...
What's that? What's Horn is his last name? Is that like a prominent name? And is that like a prominent name? Maybe working with one of the defendants. It does. Like, this guy's got a heart. I love you guys. Please be safe. Have a peaceful, positive day, afternoon, evening. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for all your support, your kind words, your company, your conversation, and the energy that we're promoting out on this planet. It's about that peace, positivity, and progress always.